Starfleet intelligence has decoded the list of Riemann targets that you recovered from the vault. I need you to investigate one of these locations and determine why Obasek and his forces planned an attack there. The Hifihar system is still technically part of the Romulan Star Empire, but Ferengi speculators have moved in, and the Empress has done nothing to remove them. The Ferengi have reopened the mines and are now doing business with anyone with latinum. You will go to the Hifihar system under the pretense of negotiating a possible trade agreement with the Federation. Talk to Madron, the operator of the mines. Convince him to allow you access. Find out all you can. Once we know why Obasek and the Riemanns are targeting these mines, then we will be able to decide how to proceed.
Okay, and yes, we met Obasek in the vault.
I have new missions for you.
So yeah, let's begin Mine Enemy. Captain, the Riemanns were targeting a magnesite mine in this area. But the list we recovered didn't have its exact coordinates. I know we're in the right area, but all of the moons in this system are inhabited, and our sensors are being affected by the magnesite. We'll be able to contact each moon to try and determine which one the Riemanns were actually targeting. Okay. Let's go to the first moon. Let's hail them.
You've stuck your nose in our business for the last time, Starfleet! All ships, attack! Attack!
Clearly not that moon. Got that one. And to the next moon. I have a feeling it'll be the third moon. Okay.
This moon is private property! No solicitors, beggars, or Starfleet allowed!
They're not very hospitable around here, are they? This is a dangerous area, and it's only gotten worse since the destruction of the Romulans. It might be difficult to get someone to trust us. Some particles. And to the third moon. Let's hail them.
Hello, my good friends. I'm so happy to meet you. Perhaps you are in the market for some high-quality magnesite, hmm? We have the finest ore in the quadrant. On behalf of the miners and residents here, I'm more than happy to welcome you to our home. Please transport to the surface. Unfortunately, the large amounts of extremely pure magnesite ore in the core of our little world will interfere with your sensors. For safety reasons, I must insist that you use the transporter signal enhancers that I have installed at my own expense. Also, I know you Starfleet types are so fond of your away teams, but could you please restrict the number of crew you bring down to the surface? My people here aren't used to strangers, and you wouldn't want to disrupt their work, would you?
Of course not. We're ready to beam down on your command. Let's go. Sure, Flores, why not? And here we go. Who's that? Ah. Right.
Did you need something?
What are you doing here?
It's a long story. After the destruction of Romulus, I joined a group of colonists looking for a new place to settle. We chose to form a new agrarian community, on Viranat, a pastoral world on the edge of Romulan space. Our colony was attacked and destroyed. I managed to evade the attackers and get off-world with a small group of people. My luck ran out here, and I've been stuck ever since.
What kind of work do you do?
I'm a biochemist by trade. I specialize in hemocyanin, a division of hematology, working with copper-based blood. On Viranat, I handled a lot of issues related to food compatibility and local biochemistry. These days, I mostly handle minor medical issues and nutritional deficiencies for the people living here. I can't afford passage off of this moon. I've managed to stay out of debt, but I don't know how long that will last.
Have you heard of anything strange lately?
This whole mining facility is nothing but strange. That Ferengi, Madron, rides everyone hard to make a profit, but just when it looks like things will get too bad, he turns around and does something generous. Folks have occasionally disappeared, and not by leaving on a ship. People here for weeks or months will suddenly vanish. People talk about seeing strange things, or being kept out of parts of the mine by the guards. There's something deeper in those mines. I'm sure of it.
Wow. Interesting. Yes. We should go meet with Madron then. Ah, there's a refugee here we could speak to as well. Please, have you seen my brother? Tell me about your life here.
My life? My life is unimportant. It's my brother. I can't find him.
Maybe I can help you. How long has he been missing?
I last saw him 2 days ago. Madron assigned both of us to work in the upper levels of the mine. Toshin's drill bit broke, and he needed a new one. I know I should have gone with him. It's not safe to be in the mine alone. Now he's gone.
Oh. Why isn't it safe to be in the mine?
There's a group of people down there who treat the mine like it's their own. I don't know why Madron tolerates them, but they make life miserable for the rest of us. They steal and terrorize the weak. I once saw them dragging a woman to the lower levels, and I never saw her again. She wasn't the only one. Many people have disappeared. I thought if my brother and I kept our heads down, that we would be safe, but maybe they took him. Murderers. Murderers. If they killed my brother, I'll kill them all!
Is there anything else I should know?
If you go into the mine, watch for the silver spheres. There are creatures in the dark. Devils. They're made of stone. Nothing can hurt them, and their touch burns. I've seen them moving around in the tunnels. Anywhere you see the silver spheres, the monsters are not far away.
Okay. Ominous. Duranium ore. Another refugee. Jewel on true, stranger. Have you always lived here?
Oh, my family and I have been here all our lives. It's a hard life, but it's all I know. My mother used to tell me tales of the home world. She'd talk about the plazas in Rateg or vacations she spent with her father on the shores of the Apnic Sea. And she would tell me about my father, who gave up his place in the military evacuation ship so she could live. He never knew he had a child. She would tell me these stories, and later, when she thought I was asleep, she would cry.
Oh. Well, tell me about Madrin.
He charges us too much and pays too little. He's like everyone else in this world, out for himself. But he doesn't let us starve. And if a child needs medicine, they get it. Many here grumble and hate him, but I cannot. If I were in his position and his life was in my hands, can I say that I would act any differently than he does?
Well, what can you tell me about this area?
Stay in the settlement. Don't go down into the mine. And whatever you do, don't leave this area. I do not wish you harm, stranger. And there are many dangers here. There is a group. They rule the mine. And they are dangerous. Even Madrin fears them. If you avoid them, they will ignore you. Now defy them, and they will turn on you. Last week, a good man died because he would not give them what they wanted. He was not the first. There are many monsters on this moon that you would be wise to avoid. Outside of the settlement, there are packs of wild animals. If you take a warrigal from its mother when it's very young, it can be tamed. If you wait too long, they are savage. The packs of wild warrigal roam the edges of our settlement. Often they prowl the refuse piles, looking for scraps of food. A pack of warrigal can kill even a strong man. You must be careful when you are in their territory. And they are not the only monsters here. The miners tell stories about creatures made of stone who can burn you to cinders. I have not seen one of these creatures myself, but I know that many people who enter the mine do not leave it.
Have you spoken to anyone suspicious around here?
You're the first outsider I've seen in a long time. Well, there's no reason for anyone to want to come here.
Okay. Thank you. Oh. Ah. Another refugee. We don't see strangers here very often. What do you want? Tell me about your life here.
What can I say? We exist. I mine because there's nothing but rocks on this forsaken planet. If I'm lucky, I dig enough ore to make my quota and Madrin pays me. If he pays me, I can eat and have a warm place to sleep. If we don't make our quotas, there's nothing. Even if I do have latinum, most of it goes to Madron to pay my debts, and the rest he takes in exchange for the supplies he imports. I would leave, but I owe too much to Madron to ever earn enough to buy my passage off this place. Besides, where would I go?
Well, tell me about Madron.
Every morning, the first thing I do when I wake is curse that Ferengi's name. Madron found this moon about 2 years after the destruction of the homeworld. Most of our equipment was broken or useless, the supplies were gone, and we were starving. After some negotiations, Madron had his contract and we had food. We're supposed to be working with him, but he's the only one who benefits from our labor. Madron owns the only working ship here, so no supplies come in without him. He negotiates all of the ore contracts, so most of the latinum goes into his pocket. And he sets the prices for food, medicine, and equipment, so everyone here owes him more than we can ever repay. He owns us now. I hate him for that, but I can't live without him.
Do you get help from the Empire?
The Empire? What Empire? Our Empire turned to dust with the loss of the homeworld. If you're rich or in the military, then maybe there's something. I hear the people in Sila's shining city and the Rator system live quite well, as long as they obey her commands. For the rest of us, there's nothing but dust and regret.
Well, the Federation has sent aid. We want to help all Romulans.
I have heard this, but I have not seen that it is true. Are you going to go to every Romulan on every world and hand them bread? Because that is the only way you can help all of us. The strong take from the weak. Sila and her ships are strong. The Tal Shiar is strong. Your aid goes to fill their bellies and heal their wounds, Starfleet, not mine.
Good point. And Madron.
On behalf of everyone on this forsaken rock, let me be the first to welcome you to Hifihar. As you can see, we don't have time for pleasantries. And I'm not sharing my Tranya stash with you. So, why don't we skip the chit-chat and get down to business?
Of course, I've heard you're an excellent source of magnesites. What makes your mine better than the other mines in the sector?
Unfortunately, I cannot call this mine my own. I'm just a middleman. Out of the goodness of my heart, I help the residents here pass on the products of their hard work to commercial entities such as yourself. The minuscule transaction fee and trade tariff I keep to offset my expenses is figured into the unit cost of the ore. My operation has become one of the best in the area because of the high demand for my services from both sides. I provide the best mining equipment and supplies in the sector to the miners, while my customers get competitive pricing on the ore they need.
Do you have any more information about the mines themselves?
I don't pay much attention to that. Miners have empty carts and they return with ones filled with ore. If you're that interested, you could visit the mines themselves, but I don't recommend it. It's such a dirty, disagreeable business. And I'm convinced that breathing ore dust for too long is terrible for you. The miners who live near my quarters used to keep me up night after night with their dreadful coughing. I had to install soundproofing just to get some sleep. Are you sure you wouldn't rather look at the ore I have for sale?
Thanks, but I'd like to talk to the miners first.
Really? Suit yourself. Just remember, I have an exclusive contract to export magnesite ore from this moon. If you try to cut me out of your deals, you'll regret it.
I just have a few questions before we conduct any business. I'll be back when I'm done. Madron won't answer any questions about why the Remans might be targeting this place, for fear of scaring us away from a possible sale. Perhaps if we ask some of the locals about what's going on here, they'll be able to provide more information. Okay. Let's talk to some of the locals. So there's a surveyor here.
I'm sorry, I really can't talk at the moment. I have to finish a survey of the area so the miners can start work on a new mine shaft.
Is there anything I can do to help?
As much as I'd appreciate someone else to lug around this heavy equipment, it's all very delicate, and I'd only trust a capable scientist to help me.
If I encounter someone who can help, I'll send them your way. Right. A bullied refugee.
I can't talk to you. I can't talk to anyone. I'm on the run. And if those thugs see me talking to you, then you'll be in danger too.
Well, is there anything I can do to help?
I need someone who's not afraid of a fight. There's a group here that's beating and stealing from us. Madron doesn't do anything to stop it. For all I know, he's getting a cut of everything they take. They're making life miserable for all of us. Would you be willing to help?
Count me in.
There's a group of bullies that have been stealing from us. If we don't give them what they want, they beat us. I had a friend. All he was trying to do here was feed his family. Be a good man. He had an old bottle of ale. He said it was from the homeworld. One of those thugs wanted it. Now, my friend is dead. I'm too weak to stop them, I know that. And now I have my friend's children to feed in addition to my own. But if someone were to teach them a lesson, this camp would be a better place for all of us.
Well, I think we may be able to do something about that. Almost. Yeah, it's fine. Civil operator.
I don't have time to talk to you right now. I need to repair this drill so I can make a living.
Is there anything I can do to help?
Not unless you know an engineer who'd be willing to take a few moments out of their busy schedule to help me fix this hunk of junk.
If I encounter someone, I'll send them your way. Well, let's take out some thugs. Hey. There's a few more dotted about. And there's another group. Can we get through here? No. Okay. Right. She obviously didn't like me coming up onto her.
Thank you. Those guys have been giving everyone a lot of trouble. These thugs are part of a larger group that operates deep inside the magnesite mine. They control the lower levels, and no one who goes down there uninvited ever comes back. I don't know what's so important down there that's worth hurting us to protect it. Maybe if you went down there, you could get some answers.
Well, I'm glad that let me pop it up again, but okay. Let's return to Madron.
You want to go in the mine? Are you really interested in buying any magnesite? Or are you just here to cause trouble? Because if it's the latter, I know someplace you can start a little ruckus. There's a gang that controls the bottom levels of the mine. They won't even let me in there. Previously, I allowed them to keep their little kingdom in exchange for information. But lately, they've been more trouble than they're worth. And the intel they're feeding me is useless. Honestly, who doesn't know about the Breen invasion of the fairy space?
I'll take that information to heart. Well, let's go and explore the mine. Right, we're back. Let's explore the mines. Okay. Restricted.
What do you want?
I'd like to enter this area.
This area is restricted. Only people my friends and I like may enter. And I don't like you!
I'm very likable. Just ask Madron.
Madron? That big-head money grabber doesn't know the first thing about what really happens here. All he does is collect his latinum and make the miners miserable.
Let's try it, then I suppose he won't mind if you disappear. Well, that didn't work. Well, certainly disappeared now. Let's examine the campsite. There are a series of pressure plates located in this area. They're low-tech, but the Romulans may have had to resort to outdated security measures because of the interference from the magnesite veins in this cavern. The problem is that the magnesite is making our tricorders almost useless. If there's anything on this moon that the Remans would want to eliminate badly enough to use follow-on weapons, it has to be here. We're going to have to figure out how to use the pressure plates to reveal whatever the Romulans are trying to hide. I suspect that we may need to activate 2 of them to open the door. Yes. Well, no. No. Let's try. There we go. Oh. Doesn't look like a mining facility.
I give the orders here, Commander. You are out of line.
With all due respect, sir, there is a difference between protecting the Empire from her enemies and provoking them.
There is much here you do not understand, Janek. The Remans need to know their place. As do you. I will not forget your insubordination, Commander. The Tal Shiar has no place for officers who cannot follow orders. I'll be in the command center.
Colonel, they were civilians. Their blood is on our hands.
Get used to it. There will be more. Speaking of which, why don't you clean out the brig before you become a resident there?
Wow, that was Colonel Hakeev. We could, or we could take them out. There we go. Secure. Well, let's read the logs on the Trueway activity. Observed from Cardassia Prime. Do Tepa Council, petitions, Federation to fund Lacarian City, infrastructure projects. 47 injured in bombing at university. Trueway claims responsibility. Do Tepa Council passes bill allowing Cardassian government to seize assets of persons convicted of terrorist activity. Councillor resigns. Starfleet sending advisors to Cardassia. Yeah, not really anything jumping out. And Borg. Observed from captured holo recordings in the Delta Quadrant. Resistance is futile. Well, it's just the Borg in a nutshell. Okay. Listening post Thetis. Janek is fighting with Hakeev again. Hakeev takes shuttle and leaves base for 2 days. Long-range sensors mark his progress in neutral zone. 6 miners held for questioning. Chief Medical Officer reports 2 cases of Livonian flu. 6 encrypted messages sent from Colonel Hakeev's console to unknown recipients. Recommended that the transmissions be investigated further. Okay. Starfleet. Observed from Earth, space dock. Captain Sulu has applied for transfer to the front lines. Admiral Quinn under medical care for a heart condition. Intercepted Starfleet medical records indicate that the condition is fully treatable and not a suitable target for exploitation. 7th Fleet entered neutral zone as part of a routine series of exercises. Franklin Drake heading extended operations in 8 Arianda. Starfleet Command considering new tactics in conflict with True Way. Starfleet Intelligence concerned with rise in war profiteering by independent Ferengi and Dopterians. Okay. Klingon. Observed from Kronos. Jampok facing increasing challenges from members of the High Council. Loyal to House Martok. Alliance between House Jampok and House Duras is weak. Situation is highly exploitable. Recommend we seek agents on Kronos. Many members of discommendated House of Torg have been absorbed into House Duras. KDF leadership angered by High Council's mandate to work more closely with Klingon intelligence. Clary, said that wrong I'm sure, forces in region meaning under new leadership. Not going to try and pronounce that because I can't see it properly. Seen entering the House of Drax, son of Martok. Gorn push for representative on High Council rejected. Okay. And go with Romulan Empire. Increased power use in Royal Palace. Senator Shemak is accepting bribes in exchange for slowing process on trade agreements. Erogen representatives meet with Sealer. Raymond representatives removed from Senate chamber. Opposition leader Tetan assassinated. 3 unification proponents arrested. Agents for Sealer meet with True Way leaders near Badlands. Okay. And Tal Dewar activity. Republic space. Archaeological activity indicates that a recent excavation has revealed an unexpected high-value find. Attempts to capture colonists of putative Molrihan, meeting with resistance from mixed forces. Federation Starbase 234 engaged in defensive training exercises. Long-range social destabilization of Archimerian culture underway. Tholian activity correlated with temporal anomalies near Azura Nebula. Cloaked assets monitoring construction of listening posts in Jorot system. Okay. Let's explore the brig.
I almost feel sorry for you, but I have my own neck to worry about. I'll be joining you in there soon enough. If Hakiv has his way, we all will.
Okay. Commander. Let's speak to her.
Enough! I surrender. I value my life more than the Tal Shiar's secrets. I'll tell you anything you want to know. But first, you must tell me why you are here and what you want.
Why does the Riemann Resistance want to destroy this base?
The Riemans know about this base? Impossible! Only the leadership of the Tal Shiar know we're here. The Empress herself couldn't find us. I don't believe you, but it makes no difference. This is not a military installation. We listen and record here. Nothing more. There are many targets that those Riemann scum would find much more tempting.
Well, I'll need more than your word that this base is as harmless as you say.
Colonel Hakiv will want my blood for this, but... Take my security code. You can use it to access the control room. You'll find everything you're looking for there.
Thank you. Right. I think we should release the prisoners. Just so that they're free. Hey, come on everyone, let's go. Let's visit this room first. Okay. Oh. Let's access his console. We were drilling near when we broke through a wall into a chamber that hadn't appeared on our scans. Blasted magnesite, it blocks everything, sensors, tricorders, they're all useless. The chamber is large and should be suitable for an expansion of the base. There were several spherical orbs in it. We have yet to determine the nature of these orbs, but Janek thinks they are pretty. She kept one for her quarters. I've asked for permission to study the orbs. They remind me of a Federation report I read once. I can't remember the details, but it was something about the Jonas system. Ah, yes. Ensign Ryman is dead. Hakiv ordered him to explore the tunnels. We've found organic remains and his fully discharged disruptor was nearby. It looked like he'd been melted. I think we should wall off this section of the mine and not disturb the creatures down here. 6 people have already died, 5 were miners, and therefore expendable. But Kryman showed promise. I know that in time he would have been a fine officer. I've asked Colonel Hakiv to request reinforcements. If he's determined to kill people exploring the mine, let him kill recruits. Or don't kill anyone. Well, there's the remains. Ah. More Romulans. communicate with the Horta. No kill I. No kill I. The message is burned deep into the floor of the chamber. I'm sure it was at one time, but it's not now. Alright, let's go find the control room. Okay. Few security officers. Right.
How did you find this place? What else do you know? No matter. You won't be revealing anything to your superiors. It's disappointing I cannot give you a proper interrogation, but I have much to do and little time. The self-destruct sequence has begun. This base will be your tomb.
Well, yes, reactor's going critical. Let's get what we can. Okay, we should go. Oh. Other way, miners. Go back to the surface. Right. I think we should have a chat with Madron.
My mine! What have you done to my mine?
There was an infestation of Tolshiar spies in there. I just fumigated.
Tolshiar? I'm shocked! I had no idea. I certainly wouldn't have sent you down there if you... Say, you didn't happen to find anything valuable down there, did you? Because if you did, remember, I have an exclusive contract.
Stop with the lies, Madron. I know you knew who and what was down there.
And what's it to you? This is a rough area of the Quadrant, you know, and they're good neighbors. If you're not easily embarrassed. Their cameras and listening devices are everywhere. I haven't had a single problem with Orions or Herodians since they moved in. And it doesn't hurt that I acquired the odd bit of information here and there. I'm a businessman, and information is big business.
Do you know anything about what they recently discovered?
Unfortunately, no. I'll admit, I was trying to find out, but their systems were locked down tight. I'm sure whatever it was had to be big news. Everyone was on edge. Janek and Hakiv were barely speaking, and I once heard Hakiv mumbling something about orders. Someone's been pulling his strings, but I don't know who. I do know that Tal Shiar takes security very seriously. If you manage to pull any files from their system, you can expect them to be heavily encoded. Trust me on that. I speak from experience.
I'm sure.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to go talk 100 Romulans into digging a new mine to replace the one you destroyed. My profit margin for this month is ruined.
Treat those miners well, Madrin, or I'll be back. Madrin doesn't seem to know much, or at least he's not willing to part with what information he knows without being paid. I don't think he can help us anymore. We should return to the ship and try our luck at decrypting the files we recovered from the Tal Shiar. I'm sure that they will be more useful than anything Madrin has to say. Okay. Okay, let's decipher them in the ready room. There's one issue. This ship doesn't have a ready room. Maybe here? Nope. Maybe? Yes. Yeah, decrypt. Okay. Alright, let's analyze it. Cross-reference. Change. Acts of treason. Okay. Analyze. Apply. Okay. Analyze. Cross-reference. Yeah, he didn't retire. Exposed. Yes. Okay. Analyze. Change. Okay. Nope. Okay. Okay. Let's analyze. It's key. That's the wrong file. Analyze. Cross-reference. Passage rock. Vulcan? Yes. Okay. Secret Riemann base detected in the Dera system. Listening post has detected an increase in subspace communications and ships traveling to and from the Dera system. Analysis of communications and ship traffic reveal patterns of obfuscation normally implied by Riemann forces. Tulshar forces then intercepted a ship leaving the Dera system and captured 47 Riemann civilians. The passengers and crew were summarily executed under orders of Colonel Akiv, but the captain and first officer were preserved for questioning. Under interrogation, the captain of the Riemann vessel provided a security key that could be used to decipher encrypted communications sent to the Dera system. The decrypted messages prove that there is a base in this area of space being used by the Riemann resistance. Recommendations: the Tulshar ships should be sent to the Dera system immediately to capture this base and its inhabitants. So, the Tulshar is planning an attack on a Riemann base. We need to get this information to Admiral T'nae at Starbase 39. Agreed. Well then. Let's hail the Admiral.
The Tulshar records you recovered showed that Akiv and his forces have been targeting the Riemanns for months. Obasek and his followers have been driven from their homes, had their ships destroyed, and their loved ones killed or imprisoned. Some might say that Obasek's campaign against the Tulshar is just. However, Obasek was planning on using Thalaron weapons in the Hifihar system, which would have killed hundreds of innocent civilians as well as the Tulshar cell there. This is the problem with revenge. Violence and fury only create more pain and suffering.
True. Right. Take the heavy cannons.
I have...
Congratulations, Commander.
Well. That's that then. Next time we'll be doing Frozen. And we'll be speaking to Obasek, clearly. Well. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.